観戦をですね、楽しみにしていただいていたチケット購入者の方々には誠に申し訳ございません。
We apologize for all the buyers of the tickets.
北海道、宮城県、福島県、茨城県、静
For
岡県の会場は収容定員の 50%
Convention revenue in the IM prefecture and also in the Saichu prefecture, we are going to control the total audience population below 50%. So just as what we have mentioned on the 21st of the January, we are going to keep the status quo of the Sendai prefecture. And I hope that all the entries or audience of the Olympic game is going to follow the protocols of the COVID-19 protection and control. And we really want to thank all the corporations from Japan, and we are looking forward to the wonderful performance of the athletes. I believe that by joining our effort, we are going to spread the ideas of Olympic and Paralympic. We are going to create a better world and continue to spread that idea on top of that. Thank you very much. So the next item is going to be some of the information about the audience number limits in different exhibition centers and also game center. Just as I have mentioned, all the different prefectures, metropolitans, and cities that have some of the exhibition centers. As I mentioned here, Tokyo Prefecture, Kaitama Prefecture, and also Aichi Prefecture, it is going to close the audience seats. And for other different prefectures, including the Sendai Prefecture, among other 9 different prefectures, we are going to control the total population, audience population below 50%. And for the following 4 prefectures, we believe the total populations of the audience should be controlled below 10,000 people. And for the night session, the sessions at night for the Miyagi Prefecture, we believe that after 9 p.m., all the different events held there is going to be cancelled. And after 21 p.m., that is 9 p.m., we are going to clean up the prefecture and sterilize all the prefectures, or sterilize all the different game centers. I hope that all the different participations is going to follow the controlling principles of the Tokyo Olympic Game, Paralympic Game. For the places including Tokyo, Chiba, Kanagawa, among other different places, there is no visiting or sightseeing tickets allowed to enter into these areas. And we are going to return your ticket as well as the fees you paid for the ticket, together with some of the members of this year's Tokyo 2020 Olympic and Paralympic Games. Starting from the spring of the 2019, we have started all the ticket selling events. And after 2 years, I believe that you have been waiting for quite a long period of time. And I believe that you all have your favorite items in the Olympic Games. For those of the fans, for specific items of the Olympic Games, we feel really sorry for your losses. Definitely for this time, in the Hokkaido, Shizuoka, and all the relevant prefecture, and also Ibaraki, and because they have suffered from the East Japan earthquake, I believe the local people and their children have worked really hard to reconstruct their prefectures for the welcomings of a perfect Tokyo 2020 Olympic. We really want to thank for your strongness and supporting this country to went through its difficult time. And the next part I want to talk about is that the session information for the different prefecture. For the Hokkaido prefecture, it is going to be the soccer. And we are still discussing about the soccer entry. And also for the Miyagi prefecture, it is also going to be some of the soccer events. It is going to start from the 21st, and we are going to enter into several different sessions after the soccer. I believe the final games is also going to be held there. For the Fukushima prefecture, there is a possibility for the expansions of the infection. It is just as we have mentioned. For the Ibaraki prefecture, and it has the famous stadium. So we are going to cancel all the audience tickets. And for the sessions started from the 21st of July, all the audience is going to follow the information on our website. And I'd like to talk about the information on the Shizuoka prefecture. We believe in the Shizuoka prefecture, there's also going to be possibilities for the expansions of the infection. Starting from the June 23rd, we have published a series of the schedules, and we have changed the schedules starting from the 21st of June. I have been publishing these different informations on the official website. I believe after the press conference, you are going to have a clearer understanding to get more information from our official website. And we are not only having some of the certain items, tickets, we also have some of the comprehensive tickets that is going to say one ticket is going to brought you to different spots. And at the same time, when you are downloading the applications for the cancels of the tickets, we are going to reconsider the price of the ticket that we are going to return to you. Definitely, we are going to dispatch the new tickets to enable the entrance of certain audience. Definitely, I believe that this ticket is going to be dispatched to you at the 18th of July. And continually speaking, and for the final contest, we used to set up the audience cap at 10,000 people, that is to say 50% of the audience seats. But currently, we have to cancel that number because of this state of the emergency and the prefecture of Fukushima and also Sapporo, and the city of Sapporo, because it's going to hold the finals of the soccer games. Later on, we are going to uphold the relevant information for the final events. So for the methods to confirm the ticket, on the websites selling the tickets, I believe that on every single of the tickets you have an attached code. For the game center in the Tokyo prefecture, Saitama prefecture, Aichi prefecture, these 4 different prefectures is going to publish the information of the forbidden of entry on their official website. By clicking that, you can enter into the returning page, returning price of the tickets. And for the infected place, and for the Hokkaido, Fukushima, Hazuoka prefecture, we are still discussing with the local prefecture government. Definitely. So finally, it is regretting that all the tickets has been set up. I believe that currently, just as we are required to tell you, these tickets has to be cancelled, and you can also download the applications for the reback of the tickets. So I think on the website it is going to be like this. And first you have to input the content of the competition of the games. We are regretted to tell you that for this time, the school dispatched ticket is also going to be cancelled. On the left side, there's going to be some of the information related to that. And there's also going to be some information about the finals. And definitely there are some of the convention centers. And we are trying our best to give you more information of how to cancel your tickets. And for this audience who is going to attend to the game center, and for the different session-based ticket, we need to select the data. And we are having different options for the tourist. That is to say, they can select to attend on the audience seats. And these different measures we are hoping a general understanding for the emergency measures that is going to be taken here. For this ticket design and audience design, I think all of this design is going to be started from the very first day to the final games of the Olympic Games. And this form of the tickets requires the cooperations of the audience. And the next item is about how do we implement the COVID-19 prevention and control measures of these times on-site audience. For every single page of the tickets, definitely during the printings of the tickets, I believe there is some of the button to press them on the website. I believe after that you can press the ticket, and on the left side there is a round button. You can actually download the PDF version of this time's ticket. And for the second tickets and the third tickets until the final tickets that you have, we hope that we are looking forward for the family attending tickets. And since it is very easy to download the tickets on site, I believe that you can press the one button to include all the different tickets that you have bought for your whole family into one PDF file. And we have already cancelled some of the tickets for the family tour. Just as I have mentioned here, for the final time of the tickets, it is going to be the 20th. And for the soccer games held in the Miyagi Prefecture, we are afraid of the spread of the COVID-19. And for the Hokkaido Prefecture, sometimes it might be possible for you to come to the audience center. Definitely, we have some of the competitions, and after the 9 p.m., if we have decided some of the newly formed information, we are going to have some of the press release. And after the 21st,
いうことが自治体様の方で決定いただけた場合には、
it is
2試合
still possible for you to stay at the game
と
center.
いうことになります。こちらの方
Just
針に
as
つきま
what
して
we
は
have
まだ検討中ということで、
attached the information
お聞きをし
here,
ておりますので、決定次第ですね、速やかに
according
対
to
象の
the
チケットを
games,
お持ちのお客様にはご案内をさせていただきたいという
we
ふう
are
に考
going
えてご
to
ざいます。
arrange some of the staffs to
でなお
guide the audience to their
仮にですね
designated
21時
seats.
以降感染
So
不
just
可という
let's
形
have
になっ
another
て、1
hypothesis.
試合のみの
That is to say, on the
感
21st
染とな
of
った場合
the
につきましては、
July, the
誠に
spread
恐
of
縮です
the
けれども、
COVID-19 is
チケッ
getting
ト代金のですね一部払い戻しといったような手
serious
続き
and
は
getting
予定してござい
severe.
ませんで、
We are going to
そのま
cancel
ま
the
ご購入
ticket
いただいたチケ
cap
ットをお使い
for
いただ
other
くか、
different
もしくは
games, venue, and
試合だけの
center.
場合はですね、ご希
And
望さ
during
れ
the
ないという
games,
場合は払い戻しの手続きを取っていただくという
we are
こ
going
と
to help you
を
with the
想定してご
procedures.
ざいます。いずれにしましてもまだ検討中
And we are still
ということで
discussing
ご
all
ざ
the
いますので、こちらに
procedures.
ついては
And
決まり
for the
次第
informations
繰り
like
返しになり
this,
ますけどご案
we
内を
hope
さ
that
せていただきま
we
す。
could get you understandings and we are going to provide you
続
the
きまして
guidance. The
会
next item I'm going to
場が
report
です
to
ね
you
無観客
is about the
もしくは
protocols
再
that you
抽
have
選
to
の結
avoid
果ですね
in the game
お
center,
持
in
ち
the
のチケッ
exhibition
トで
center.
会場での感
Definitely,
染ができなくなってしまったとい
you
う
have to bring your tickets to the
購入者の方への
center,
ご案
game
内でござい
center.
ます。マイチケットに発行不可無効と表記されている場合は無観客再抽選の結果によりチケットをご提供することが残念
And
なが
we
ら
are
できま
going
せ
to
ん。
redesign the
楽
tickets.
しみにされていた
So
会
we
場
are
で
sorry
の
that
観
we
戦
could
の機
not
会を
allow
提供する
the
ことができ
entrance,
ず
even
誠に
if you
申し訳
buy
ござい
the
ません。
audience tickets. I'm sorry for that.
無
We
効
and we
利用不可と
apologize for
表
the
記されているチケッ
inconvenience
トに
we
ついては
created for you.
自動的に払い戻しの対象となりますので、希望者への払い戻し期間申請期間中にですね、この10日から20日の期間の間に
So
申
from
請手続
today,
きを
there's
行
going
って
to
い
be
ただく
5
必
days
要は
that
ご
we
ざ
are
いま
going
せ
to
ん。
proceed the procedures
前
for
回
the
チケットの取り扱いに
tickets
ついてのご説
cancellment.
明をさせていただいた際にで
And
す
we are
ね、
going to
ここが
explain to the audience
し
one
っか
by
り
one.
お伝えできていなかった部
Definitely,
分
the
があったかと思い
information
ま
is
す。
going to be
ご
explained
注
to
意いただ
you.
きたいんですけれども、
So just as you have
無
are
効と
expecting
表記
so
さ
far,
れていてですね、無観客もしくは再抽選の結果
we are
で
going to
チ
hold
ケット
an
がお使
Olympic
いいただけ
Games
なくなってしまっ
basically
た
without any
購入
audience.
者の方につきましては、希望者への払い戻しの手続きをですね取っていただく
We
必要
are
はござい
hoping
ません。
to get more
大会後に
volunteers.
チケット代金の払い戻し
I
を
believe that
実施させて
after
いただきま
the
すが、
Tokyo 2020 Olympic
登
Games,
録
we
メ
are
ー
still
ルアドレス
open
の
for
方
the
へご連絡をさせてい
return
た
of
だ
the
きまして、
tickets.
返金手
For
続き
we
に
are
つきま
also
して
still
は
open
ビ
for
ザ
the
でお支
payment
払い
of
いただい
these
た方
cancelled
はビ
tickets.
ザカードの方にご返金をさせていただきます。
And
ま
we are
た
going to
現
return the
金
money
で
back
コン
on
ビ
the
ニエンスス
reader
ト
card
ア
of
でで
these
すね、お支
applicants,
払いいただいたお客
these
様につきまし
buyers
て
of the
は
tickets.
金融機関のご口座の方の
And
方
we
ですね、
are
ご登
hoping
録い
that
ただく手続きを大会
you
後にご案
could
内させてい
log
ただきます。
in the
その上
bank
で
account
ご登録
on
い
the
ただい
financial
た口座の
on
方へ
of
お振り
you
込
on
みを
bank
させていただき
and
ますので、
double
もうし
check
ばらくお待ちいた
the
だければと思います。
money
よ
that
ろし
you
くお願いい
get.
たします。
We are really sorry for that, and thank you very much for your
続きまして
cooperations.
パラリンピック観戦チケットの取り扱いについてでございます。
So
前回
I'm
6
going
月
to
の
talk about
5
the
者協議で
ticket
は
related
パラリン
policies
ピッ
in
ク
the
については
Paralympic
オリン
Games.
ピック開会式の1週間前の7月16日までに方針を決定すると
So the
発表
Paralympic Game
されていましたが、
ticket policy is going to be officially designed or
今後の感染状況
determined
等を踏まえて
until
判断する必
the
要があることから、
16th
オ
of
リンピックが閉会した
August.
後にパラリンピックの観客数の取り扱いを決めることとするという方針が示されました。
We
これを
definitely
受けま
have
して
some of the
7
policies.
月16日に予定をしてご
And
ざいま
on
し
the
た
16th
再
of the
抽選の
June,
結果発表並びにですねホームプリントチケットの発行開始、希望者へ
and
の
we
払い
hope
戻
that
し
all the
手続
home
きの
printed
受付
ticket
につき
can
まし
be
ては
widely
恐縮
used.
ですが延期とさせていただきます。この手続きにつきましては、オリン
And
ピ
for
ッ
these
ク
different
の
procedures,
期間、終了後、
the
予定して
time
ござい
of
ますが、
Olympic and after the
詳細
Olympic,
なスケジュール、手続き等につきましては、
we are going to
決定
strictly
次第
follow the
公式ウェ
schedule,
ブサイト等で改めてご案内をさせていただきたいと思い
and we
ます。
need the
また有観客
further
の競
guidelines
技セ
of
ッシ
all
ョン
the
で、
tourists.
かつ有効となっているチケットを今回お持ちの
Some of the effective
購入者
tickets,
の皆
as
様
what
で、
we call it,
当たったチケットを有効に使っていただけるチケットなんだけれども、ご事情でですね、もう会場へご
and
来
actually
場されないという場合で、
sometimes it cannot be
チケットの
used
払い戻しを
because of
ご
the
希望される
emergency
場合につきま
status.
しては、7月10日から20日までの間にですね、申請手続きをお願いいたします。
And actually, during the 10th of the July to the 18th of the July, we are going to start an official procedures for this ticket return policy. And we are also going to give you certain different procedures on that.
繰り返しになりますけれども、
As I'm repeating myself continuously,
組織委員会の方で手続きを進めさ
and
せていた
from
だ
the
きますの
organizing
で、
committee's
今回のこの
perspective,
希
we are
望者
going
の払い戻
to
し申請の
help
手
you
続
with
き
the
は必要ございませ
procedures.
ん。最後にチケ
And
ットホルダー
finally,
の皆様でですね、会場で
for the
引き
different
続き有観客のセッションで会場での観戦をいただける皆
audience,
様へのお願
we
いでご
kindly
ざいます。
remind you to keep a
先
very
般
good
発表さ
protocol
せてい
for
た
the
だきました
prevention
通
and
り、チケッ
control
ト
of
ホルダー
yourself.
向けの新型コロナウイルス感染症対策ガイドラインを
And for
皆
the
様にご案内を
COVID-19
さ
prevention
せ
and
て
control
いただきます。
guideline, we need the
会
support
場
for
で
all of you.
の観戦に際しましては、
In the
この
convention
ガイドライン
center,
を遵守いただきますよう何卒よろしくお願いいたします。
we are
改
hoping
め
for you to
て
give us
内
more
容の主な
support.
事項をお伝えさせていただきます。
We
会場
hope
への
that
行き帰りにおいて
you
は、
could protect
来場
yourself
前
in
の
the
体調管理
venue
の
and
徹
in the
底、
convention
またマス
center.
クの着用、交
Definitely,
通機関
we
利用時の
require
談
you
笑
to
や会
wear
話
a
の自
medical
粛、
mask.
また混雑を避
And
け、
we hope
十
that
分
you
な余
could
裕を持って
be
ご来場い
clear
ただ
of
きた
your
いと思い
own
ます。
social distancing.
分散入場、時差入退場等のですね、お願いをする場合がございます。そういった
And we
場合
really
のご
thank
協
you
力
for
をお
what
願いい
you
たしま
have
す。
supported
また
us in
ご
the
自宅
COVID-19
や
prevention and
宿
control
泊施
measures.
設からお越しいただく際にはですね、必ず直行直帰という形でお願いを
I
で
believe
きれ
it
ば
is
と
going to be a
思います。
long-term joint effort across the
また
country.
路上やですね、交通機関等利用時の飲食や
And
談
for
笑、
some of the
応援行
information
為等について
related to
は
the transportations,
自粛控えていただきますよう何卒よろしくお
I
願いしま
have
す。
written
お願い
that
申し上げま
on the
す。
papers, and I
ま
hope
た
that
チケッ
you,
ト
all
の
of you could be
14日間
care for
保
your
管につきましては
self. And
ご
for
来
the
場いただい
ticket
た後に
related
です
policy,
ね、チケッ
just
ト
as
情報
what I have
を
mentioned
保管いただ
here,
きますようよろしくお願い申し上げます。
we really thank you for your
特に
support.
県外からのご来場に際しては、
And for
会場
some
地
of
元で
the
の感染防止に
tourists or
十分
some of
ご
the
注意いただき
travelers
まして、
attending the
適切な行動
Olympic
を
Games
と
in
っていた
certain
だきま
different
すよう
prefectures.
何卒お願い申し上げます。
We hope that all of you could be
会
protective
場
of
におきまし
yourself.
ては、マ
And
スク
for
の
the
着用、
game
また
center,
エチケット
definitely we
手
require
洗
all of
い
you
消毒
to
の徹底、
wear medical
また
mask
入場時の
and
待
also
機列での
bring
フ
the
ィジカルディス
tickets
タンスの確保、
and keep
検
social,
温
social
のご
distancing.
協力、また大声の会話、声や
And
指
I
笛
hope
等
that
での
all
で
of
すね、
you could
応援の禁
avoid
止、
talking
マスク飲
loudly
食の徹
during the
底、
games.
飲食中にはですね、会話を自粛いただきまして、
And after
声を
you
出して
drink
お話し
some
い
of
た
the
だく場合に
water
は
or
必
eat
ずマスク
something,
を着用
please
していただくようお願い申し上げます。
wear the
また
mask
売店等々
immediately.
の待機列でのですね、フィジカルディスタンスの確保、
And for the
また
physical distance,
今回ですね、お席の状況によっては
this time, according to the
コロナ対
requirement
策
of the
の
seats,
観点から必要に応じて、席の移動をお願いする場合がございます。
we
係員
rearranged
から
all the
そう
audience
いったお願い
seats.
を申し上げた際には、
And for that,
ご移動に
we really want to
ご
thank
協力を
you
いただきますよう何卒お
for
願い
your
申し上げます。
cooperation.
また会場内では
And in the convention
定められ
center,
たお席に、なるべく
the newly
座って
determined
いただいてで
tickets
すね、競
requires
技
all
の
of
観
us.
戦を楽しんでいただければと思います。会
And
場内
it
で
is
の
also going to
必要な
prevent to
会議等
protect
はで
us
すね、
from the
自粛
infection.
をお願い申し上げます。
we required all of you to keep the social distancing. And for the working routines or the ways that you should follow on the convention venue,
新型コロナウイルス感染症対策の徹底を強く要請されているところでございます。
we believe that it is going to be of high values for the COVID-19. It is going to be all the priorities for our country, and we are looking forward for the cooperations from all the different countries, including their athletes, their representatives, and also their government officials. Since we have announced the state of the emergency once again, we hope that all the different people in Japan could try their best to avoid the travelings between the different prefectures.
またまん延防止等重点措置区域の皆様につきましては
And for those who is going to attending the Olympic Games, we hope that for those who are living in the 4 prefectures announcing the state of the emergency, we require you to follow the requirement of the Japanese government and to wear a medical mask. Just as what we have mentioned for the applicants, I believe the applicants is going to be received until the 18th of July. We are going to keep an eye on that. And finally, I'd like to repeat myself once again. I'd like to apologize for the all those who booked the ticket for Tokyo 2020 Olympic Games, and I hope that for those who have bought the tickets, we used to think that we could provide you an Olympic game with pleasure and happy, but we are sorry that this year's Tokyo 2020 Olympic game could only be held in such a form. And from the bottom of my heart, I feel really regretted and sorry for the inconvenience that we have created for you. So that is the explanation from my side. Thank you. Thank you very much. Now the floor is open up for questions. Please identify your affiliated news agency and your name before the questions. I am Morimoto from Economic News. The question is about the prefecture of Hokkaido. There's going to be 5 different events or sessions held in Hokkaido Prefecture. And from this information that I have gathered so far, you have told me that it is still under discussion. So there's going to be 3 events for the final games. And if are these measures also included what is going to happen in Saklu on the 10th of July? So on the 10th of August. Thank you very much for your question. I believe that this is actually an instruction covers all the soccer game center. And for the finals, including all these informations, we are trying to publish the relevant information. And for the competition time, it is going to start from the 21st. And so far, we have not decided yet. And for the ticket, we are hoping that you could have a better treatment of the tickets. Thank you very much. So let me conclude it that in one word, we used to think before yesterday, there was going to be design about 72 sessions open up for the audience, and after yesterday's state of the emergency, there's only going to be 31 sessions open up to the audience. On top of that, and 9 different sessions is actually about the finals for the different games. Am I concluding it right? Am I drawing a correct conclusion? Just as what you have mentioned so far. Thank you. Are there any other questions? Mr. Tadai. So I am from Sankei Sports. Including the tickets targeting the schools and also the school-related children. Definitely, we need to wait for the decisions made by the 21st of July. So that is to say, we have not decided it yet, right? Yes. So we used to cancel all the tickets for the prevention and control of COVID-19, especially for the health, for the sake of the health of our children. So I'm Honma from NHK. I heard that the total tickets sold on is actually at around 3.65 million units. So how many of them are affected? Can you give me a very detailed number? Thank you. It is actually a very large number, just as you have mentioned, just as you have imagined. And we are going to give you a very detailed number according to the wishes of the applicants. So far, we have not drawn any conclusion yet, or we have not doing any calculation so far. So far, how many people are applying for the cancelment of the tickets? Sorry, we have not got any information so far. I believe the information is going to be published after we got a conclusion. So far, there are so many different forms of the tickets, including the 2020 supporting tickets. So the press conference is to say that all the different forms of tickets is not going to be allowed in the game center. We feel really sorry for that. At the very beginning, we really want to thank all of you for your support. And we used to hope that we could create Tokyo 2020 Olympic Games with joy and happiness. But we are sorry that we did not achieve it. So it is going to be analysis of the Hokkaido news. Thank you very much. The question is about that all the information is going to be decided on the 21st of July. Yes? Yes, actually, as you have mentioned, we are still under discussion. And I think on the 21st of July, you are going to hold a press conference about the information.
セッションごとの販売数については今公表してご
For
ざいま
the
せんので、
total
先ほど
different
ご質問い
sales
ただいた
numbers
通り
of the different session,
20日までの払い戻しが済んだ時点で
I
全
believe
体の取
that
りまと
on
め
the
数字はま
8th
た
of the
ご
July, we are
報
going
告をさ
to
せてい
draw
た
the
だきたいと
conclusion.
思います。
Thank you very much for the
ちょ
support.
っとお願いします。昨日の5者協議ではですね、札幌の観客の有無っていうのは決まらなかったわけなんです
So
け
the
ども、
decision is
どう
about
いう
the
経緯で
audience
決まった
in
のか、例えば
Sapporo.
こう地元から要請があったとかですね、どういう判断だ
So
ったのかというのを少しお聞きしてお願い
what
します。
kind of information are you
北
based
海
on
道につ
to
きまし
keep
ては
up with
で
the
す
new
ね、
COVID-19
これまで
prevention
マンボ
control
ウ
measures?
の対象となっていたかと思うんですけれども、これが経過期間に移行するとい
And
う
for the
中での
for the time that we have drawn a
自治体
conclusion,
様としての取り扱い方針をお
and
決め
we
に
are
なられ
actually
る
going to
ステ
keep
ー
up
タス
with
に
the
なった
new
ということ
measures
で、
to
昨
treat
日
that.
の時点では検討中というステータスだ
And
ったというふうに
currently, at this time, we are still trying to keep up with the conclusion.
例えば札幌のマラソンとか競歩は沿道での応援というのを自粛求めると思うんですけれども、
So let me give you one example. For example, if we are talking about the marathon game held in Sapporo, so how do we, if there is any emergency of COVID-19, how do we deal with that?
会場内につきましてはですね、
Definitely, we are going to
その会場
hold
の
the
コ
marathon
ロナ
inside
感
of
染
the
症対策というこ
convention
とについて
center.
これまでも有観客を前提にして準備を
And
進
so
め
far,
させ
we
て
are
い
trying
た
our
だい
best
てございます。
to
で、そうい
prepare
った
for
前
the
提の中
prevention
で
and control of COVID-19.
安全
Based
な
on that,
にゲームを見ていただく機会をご提供
we
でき
are
るという
trying
ことで
to
ですね、
create a game
こうい
with
った
safety and
基準で
security
見ることをチケットをご利用いただくことを認めていただけるようなご判断をいただいているというふうに認識
and
してございま
that's
す
the
ので、
reason why we
そ
have
こは
decided
また
this
沿
taken
道
cancelment
の
policy.
環境とですね、異なった状況があるということで、それぞれの環境ステータスに合わせた形での
And
ご
I
判断を
believe
いただ
by
いているものだと
concluding
いう
all
ふうに
the
理解してございます。
environment related status, we have drawn such a
先ほど
conclusion.
北海道庁でのですね、対策本部でですね、鈴木
So
直
I
樹
believe in the
あの
Hokkaido prefecture, we have came up with a
21
treatment
時以降のナイト
center
セッション
starting from the 21st.
観客とするなど
It is going to be set up as an audience-free status quo.
その今後対応を決めて
And after this day, we are going to come up with the treatment measures. So when will we
すい
come
ま
up
せん
with such a
今
conclusion?
お聞かせいただいた情報に
Just
つき
as
ま
you
して
have
は
mentioned about the
私どもの方
informations
でまだ
from my
チケッ
side,
ティングのですね担当部署
for
の
the
方へ
tickets,
正式にいただいていないステータスでございます。もしかすると今
and I
組
think
織委
that
員
we
会の
have
方
a
にご連絡をいた
status.
だいている状況なのかもしれませんけれども、
I think the
いただ
status
き
is
次第
just as
そ
what
れに
you
つきま
have
しては
learned from there.
先ほどちょっとご説明させていただいたような対応をですねそのいただいた
It is
方
going
針
to
に
be a
基づいて
treatment, and based
期
on
待な
that,
く対応させていただきたいというふうに考えてございます。
わかりました。
we are going to draw up some of the conclusions.
はい
Thank you very much.
はい、じゃあ順番に前田さんどうぞ。
すいません、朝日新聞の前田と申します。
So I am Maeda from Asahi News. So I have some details for you to confirm. Just as Mr. Moriodo mentioned, there's going to be 70,000 people who is not going to attend the Olympic Games. I think that we have calculated all the audience numbers for the different Olympic sessions. It is going to be the 26 different sessions that is going to see the total number is going to be around 8 million people. Thank you very much. Another detail to confirm. So is it going to be 9 different convention centers to hold the 9 different finals?
そうですね。7会場で間違い
Yes,
わかりまし
9
た。
different
あと
convention center.
ホームプリントでやってもらうじゃないですか。それで
Another
今回
information is about the home print.
になるところとかでも記念
And I believe for the places who is going to be audience free,
そういうふうな話をされていたと思うんですけれども、
we have
今回
such a
無観
discussion
客になる
before.
ことによってそういうふうな
For this
紙の
time's
チケット
audience.
を後に記念で起こるっていうふうな 扱いみたいなのは変わるのか変わらないのか、現時点での検討状況が分かれば教えて
So
くだ
from
さい。
this time, should we change that or should we
ご質問あ
not?
りがとうございます。
And
まずで
since
す
are we
ね、
going to
今
come up with
回
something new
有
on the
効となってい
21st
る
of the
チケッ
July?
トで、もともと紙でお申し込みをいただいた
At the
お
very
客様
beginning,
につ
we
いて
are
は
hoping to
すで
receive
に
some of
発
the
行手数料等も
paper-based
頂戴しており
applications,
ますので、
but after some of the discussions,
大会後にですね、
we finally
前回ご説明させてい
hope
ただい
that
た通り、
all
紙
the
チケットの方
different
は郵送で
applications is going to
付与させて
be
いただきます。
paperless,
で
and it's
今回
also
残念
going
な
to
が
be
ら無
moved
観
an
客
online session this
になって
time.
しまった、もしくは
Regrettingly
抽選で
speaking,
外
it
れて
is
しまっ
going
た
to
と
be an audience-free
い
games.
うお客様につきまして、今お問い合わせご質問いただいた通り、
Just as you
お
have
記念に
mentioned
です
or
ね、
questions,
ぜひ手元に欲しいと
I hope that it is going to be a very important
た
memory
くさん
for
お声を
our
いただいています
generation
ので、
for the
そうい
Tokyo
った方々に
2020
どう
Olympic
いう
Games.
対応ができるかということ
So
につきま
it
して
is
は、
going
こ
to
れから
become a
検討
part
さ
of
せてい
our
ただきたい
national
というふう
history
に考えて
in
おります
terms of how did
ち
we
なみにま
treat
だ
the
紙のチケッ
COVID-19
トって
prevention
発
and
送さ
control
れてな
measures.
いですよね。
So that is to say, so far we have not dispatched a single
一般のです
paper
ね、
form ticket, right?
今回の
Yes.
もともとインター
At
ネ
the
ット
very
の
beginning,
公式チケット販売サイトの方で抽選販売で
on the
お申し込み
official
いただいた
sales
お客
website,
様のチケットにつきましては、す
we
でに
hope
す
to
べて印
attach
刷
some
を
of the
終えて
tickets.
発
All of them are
送
being
する準備
printed.
が整っていますが、
We have
まだ
prepared
発
all
送
of
はしてい
them,
ない状況となってい
but
ます。
so far we
じゃあなんかちょっとネットとかでなんか
after
チケッ
the
トを買う
COVID-19 we
写
have
真
not
を見たんですけれども、
dispatched
あれ
all
っていう
these
のはその一
paper
般チケッ
form
トじゃない
tickets.
方の
So you have mentioned some of the 2020
はい、
tickets. That
こ
is
ちらは
not
です
the
ね、
general
例え
tickets
ば
that we
旅
could
行
book
会社
online,
経由
right?
でご購入をいただいて
And
い
for
る
example, if you are working together with a travel
トリッ
agency,
プホスピタリティチケットって呼んでます
and
けど、
we
まあ
also
一般
have
の
some of the
チケットと同
trip-based
じものでござい
tickets,
ますが、
although
旅
it
行パッケー
have
ジでご購入いた
enjoyed,
だいたお客様
although
や、
it is going
あと
to be
会場内の
enjoying the
ホスピタリ
same
ティプロ
rights
グラ
on
ム
the
で
game
ご購入
center,
いただい
that
たお
is
客
to
様に
say,
ついては、
but it is going to,
すでに
it used to
事
be
業者様を経由して
paper-based.
チケットがお手元に届いている
And
ケース
for
も
the
ある
different
と思い
audience
ますので、
seats,
そういった
we
チケットがご
also
ざいます。
わかりました。ありがとうございました。
have such a form of the tickets. Thank you. And student.
ロイター通信社のパク・ジュミンと申します。よろしくお
So
願い
I'm
します。
with Reuters.
質問2点あります。
I have two
先ほ
questions.
ど、チケットの数なんですけど、
Just you have mentioned about the numbers of the
対象の
tickets.
チケットの数っていうのはやはりその申請、期間が終わった後集計が必要だとおっしゃいましたんですけど、
Just as you have mentioned, you have designed a ticket after the Eastern Japan ground earthquake.
少なくとも金額的にいくらぐらいか、それが1点目と2点目はその別の話なんですけど、
So are there
鈴
any
木さんの方に
metals
ちょっと
attached to the
お話をお伺い
tickets?
したいと思って。
The second question is about
組織委員会の中でそのチケ
So
ッ
far
トの含めてもいろんな仕事をやってる方々に関するちょっともう気持ちとかその無観客になって
and this is a question
まあい
about
いろんな方々が
the
その
feelings
まあチケット
for
販
the
売とか
Tokyo
その
2020 organizing
さらに
committee. So
向
how
け
does
て
the
その頑張って
staff
いる
working on the tickets
たんですけど
management?
その
They have been
方々
working
に
until
まあついて
today
どの気
for
持
the
ちであり
dispatchment,
ましょう
for the
か
design of the
というふうに
tickets. So
思い
how
ます
do they feel so far?
ありがとうございます。
Thank you very
すいませ
much
ん
for your
本当
question.
に恐縮なんですけども、チケットの枚数とですね、金額等の情報につきましては、まだ
So
集計
you
等が
have mentioned about
で
the
きてい
different
ない状況です
numbers
の
of
で
the tickets.
もう少しお時間をいただければと。
I think I'm going to take some of the time to answer your question.
今お話をいただきました組織委員会の
And for the staff responsible for the tickets and the organizing committee,
昨年ですね、
starting from last year,
大会の延期が
the postponement of the Tokyo 2020 Olympic Games decision has already created a lot of pressure.
7月を目指して
They are working really hard until the
チケットを
July of the 2021.
皆さんのですね、ご期待に応えられるように
And they have a high expectation.
で今回もですね、本当にコロナの状況がこういう形で刻々と変
And
化
this
する
time,
中で
because
です
of the
ね、
COVID-19
なかなか本当に
pandemic,
チケットをお持ちの皆さんにはご案内がですね、いろいろと
and
変
for
更になっ
those
て
staff
ご
working
心
on
配
the
やご
tickets
迷惑
management
をお
and
かけ
tickets
したことについて
dispatchment,
は本
we
当
are
に心
really
苦しく思ってい
worried
るんで
about
すけ
their
れども、
sentiment.
私どもの気持ちとしては
And for my understanding,
やはりチケットをお持ちいただいているお一人お一人の
the tickets is actually
お気持ちを考
carrying
えた時にですね、
all the
なん
people's
とか
hard effort.
その
But
期待に応えられるように頑張っ
we
ていきたい
cannot
ということで、
echo their
このタイミングま
expectations.
で本当に
And
こういう
until
形で
this
ですね、
timing,
最後ご
until
要望
to
に
the
お答
final
えで
days
き
of
な
the
い
Tokyo 2020
方が
Olympic
大多
Games,
数となってしまったことについては本当に心苦しく思っていますけれども、
I think that they are really
皆様
suffered
と
at the
一緒
bottom
に
of their
ぜ
heart.
ひ大会を
So I hope
成
that
功させ
we
て
are,
です
they
ね、
are actually joining our hands to create a
一人でも
wonderful
多くの
Tokyo 2020 Olympic
子
Game
供
and
たち若い
Paralympic
人たち
game.
に一生
And
の
for
財
each
産
one
と
of
な
the
るよう
staff,
な機会をご提供したいと、
I can feel for you.
そういう思いで取り組んできたということは
I
ぜひ
believe that
ご理
they
解
have such a sentiment,
で、
and
あ
they are
と
going to carry on that
今
sentiment
回こういう
until
形
the
でです
final
ね、
opening
オ
days
リン
of
ピ
the
ックに
Tokyo
ついて
2020
は
Olympic Games.
本当に申し訳ないんですけれども、ご対応
And
で
we
き
are
る
really
できな
sorry
か
for
った
that.
部分が多々ありますけれども、
Definitely, there are some of the
また
things in we cannot
この後の
achieve
パラリンピッ
because of the
ク
COVID-19
も控えて
for
ござい
this
ます
year's
し、
Tokyo 2020
また
Olympic Game.
先ほ
But
ども
we are
申し上げましたけ
going
れど
to
も、
try our best to create a
もともとですね、
wonderful
大
Olympic
会
game.
の意義として掲げていた復興五輪ということの中で、
And we are going to see the rejuvenations of the 5 rings of the Tokyo 2020 Olympic
ご
Games.
来場いただくお客様にはきちっと
And we are also going to try our best to create a memorable Olympic Games.
するように引き続き準備を進めていきたいというふうに考えています。
And we are also preparing for the best.
はい、後ろ高橋さん。
So Mr. Takahashi sitting at the back.
お世話様です。何点か確認を。今の流れで、まず確認させてい
According
た
to
だ
the
きたいのは、
current
観
work
客が入
procedure.
る、夜9時以降に観客が入るというのは、札幌が未定ということですけど、宮城スタジアムだけということになり
You
ますか。
mentioned that the entrance of
そう
the
ですね、
after the
結果的に茨城
21st,
は学校
after the 9
連携だけですので
p.m.
夜は対象外となります。で、静
It is
岡
going
福島に
to-
ついては元々夜の
I
セッション
think
がござい
it
ま
is
せんので、
only some of the limitations in the
今の時点で
Hokkaido
先
Game
ほどちょっ
Center.
と北海道の話はまだ確定情報としてはいただいてませんけれども、今の時点で、21時が過ぎる終了時間がですね、21時が過ぎるセッション
Timing,
で、
we
ご入場いただ
believe
けるの
that
は
the session or the decision is going to be reached on the
はい、
on the 9
それとごめんなさい
p.m.
先ほどから、チケットの枚数の話が出てますけれども、
And for the questions about the total numbers of the tickets,
のが26セッション。
according to our estimation, it is going to be around
定員その
26
会場定員
sessions.
その他を考えると最大でも、十数万枚ぐらいしか今残ってないんじゃないかと思うんですけど
And currently there are
概算で
nines of
そんな理解で
tens of
すいません、ちょっと
the
枚数はですね
units.
今
Can you give me a very detailed number?
だから
Sorry, we have not came up with a number yet.
定員が最大1万人で屋外の会場が
So you have mentioned that at every single game center, the maximum number is going to be 10,000. If you times that number with 27 different game center, and if you time that with different, and if you calculate that number, it is going to be create some of the millions of the extras of the tickets. Thank you very much. I am not good at mathematical calculation. I believe that later on we are going to give you a very correct number.
と思うんですけども、サッカーの場合、例えば決勝トーナメントに行くと延長戦があったり PK 戦があったり
Let me see something about the soccer tournament.
ものではないと。その場合、
Definitely there are
学校
some,
連携の
there is going
チ
to
ケ
be
ット
some
の方
cancellment.
とかあるいは札幌ドームの方、その9時過ぎたらビタッと返す話なのか、そこら辺はどういうオペレーションになりそうだという話。
So how do you operate the soccer game and soccer tournament?
もともと試合時間の開始時間のことを想定しますと、1試合目が21時を超えるっていうことは想定はしていないかと
At the
思う
very
んですけれど
beginning,
も、
we are
も
trying
ちろんそ
to
こ
set
はや
up
はり
the games at
学校連
around
携の誤差もしまして
21st
は
p.m.
時間
It
優先ということになる
requires
かと思い
the
ます。
cooperations, and definitely we are going to rearrange the time schedule.
はい。じゃあ近いんで先西さんどうぞ。
日刊スポーツのミスと申します。何点か
So
伺
I
います。
am Mr.
今
Mo
のサッ
from
カーの
Nikkei
札幌の兼
News.
ね合いですけど、もし、夜間がダメになった場合、
This is also a question
やっぱ
of soccer.
セッションごとに
This is
開始時
also
間
a
が違う
question
ものがあ
about
りますけれ
the
ども、
games of
要は
Sapporo.
これ
You
1
have
試合目が終
cancelled
われ
the
ば
night
バシッと
sessions
終わ
of
り
the
なのか、
soccer
それとも
games.
2試合目も突入して21時ギリギリまで見せてあげるのか。
And you have mentioned that since we are going to open up the Olympic on the 23rd, and it is going to be decided on the 21st.
進
First.
行といいますか、やっぱりアスリートの皆様
And we are really sorry for the athletes.
基本的には1試合終わったところでご退場
I believe
恐縮です
the
が
basic
お願いすると
principle
い
is
う
that
オペレーションを今
after the games,
考えてい
they
る
are
ところ
all
でござい
going
ます。
to leave the game center.
あとすみません、
Sorry, I have
返金、払い戻しを希望されている方と、
another question.
あと、無観客とか再抽選で思われた方の払い戻し、今大会後順次返金とありますが、改めてですけど、これいつ頃までに返金が完了するとか、いつ頃返金が開始されるとか、そういう時期、スケジューリングを教えてください。
Do you have any schedule about the final returning day of all the price that they have taken? That they can return the tickets. We are really sorry for that because I think that we are hoping for a very smooth procedure for return the price of the tickets.
本当に今回ですね、こういう形で我々もちょっともともと想定をしていなかった非常にイレギュラーな対
We
応
have
になりますので、
decided
具体
that
的な
yet.
手続きとかですね、それに要する
We
時
need
間がどのぐらいかというのは
enough
ちょっともう少
time
し
for
時
us
間をいただい
to
て手順等を
move the
確認しな
procedure
がら
first.
ご
Move
案
the
内させてい
procedure.
ただきたいと思いますので、ご理解いただけようよろしくお願いいたします。
Thank you very much.
あとすみません、先ほども
Just as I have
ました
mentioned,
けれども、今回強制的に行けなくなってしまった、
it is going to be a competition-based session.
それに代替する記念品ではありませんけれども、なんか代替案が考えられ
There
る
is not going to be any members of this time's
も
event.
ともとそのスーベニアチケット、紙チケットを応募してない方でも、何かしらのそういう記念になるもののような、紙チケットだったりとか、
Definitely, and the tickets is going to be something of a great memory to this generation.
先ほどもちょっとご質問いただきましたけど、
Just as you have questioned so far,
私どものこのチケッティングに関わらさせていただいた職員は、
and for all the staff who is responsible for the management of the tickets, including me,
チケットをですね諦めていただいた皆様の
we really want to thank you. And I really understand the sentiment for all the staff working for the tickets.
この本当に申し訳ない思いをですねお伝えできるかということについてはいろいろ考えていきたいと思います。
We have think a lot about that.
一方で残念ながら紙チケットについてはですね、
And
もともと
very regretting, something very regretting, that is to say,
もともとお申し込みいただいていた皆様のチケットについてはお話申し上げました通りすでにご用意させていただいているんですけども、ちょっとこれ
we
か
hope
ら
that
とい
you
うこと
could
が物
understand
理的に
that
なかなか難しい部分もあるかと思います
it
ので、
is the most
どういった
difficult
ことが
part for our
できるかという
rearrangement of the
ことについては
tickets.
検討してまい
I
ります
hope
けれ
that
ど
we
も、
could get the understandings of those who booked the tickets.
誠に恐縮ですけれども、
And
こういった
I
状況
am
の中でですね
sorry for that.
組織委員会としての
For the
いろいろな
organizing committee,
コスト管理の問題であったりとか、そういう
it
こともある中で
definitely we have some problems, including the cost management.
質疑検討させていただいて、どういう
We need to
形で
rearrange that and rediscuss
出
that.
せるかということについては考えていきたいと思っています。
And we need to think about the details.
一番後ろどうぞ。
新聞赤旗社会部の丹田と申します。
We have two different points to make. The question is about your estimations of the spread of the COVID-19 and also how long will we extend the state of emergency in Japan. How do you predict the future trend? That is to say, based on that, we are trying to manage the flow of the COVID-19, and according to that, we are going to rearrange the situation. Second, and in the game center, there is going to be several different events. On that occasion, there are two different points, so can you respond to that? Thank you very much. For the first question, I have touched a little bit upon that. We have pointed that out. And for the audience who bought the tickets, the judgment is correct.
そういった中でチケットの払い戻しにつきましてはご案内申し上げました通り7月の10日から20日までの間払い戻し手続きをいただくことができるように
I believe from the July to August we are going to have a better understanding of that. For those who are curious about the latest progressions of the COVID-19, we are going to provide you with the latest information, and we are going to come up with some of the tackling measurement, addressing the COVID-19. For those who are attending on the site, there are so many different ways of thinking. There are so many different reasons behind it. And based on the audience's requirements, we are still trying to explore in what kind of form are we going to accommodate all the attendees of such an event. For this time, the organizing committee is going to give us a very individual-based discussion. And we are sorry for that. A form of holding the Tokyo 2020 Olympic Games. But for this time, definitely we are going to follow the time schedule and forbidden certain different requirements, certain different practice. And for dear friends and dear family members, I hope that you could spread the ideas among them and give up the tickets. This is also going to be very helpful for the COVID-19 prevention and control measures, and for those who are determined to come to our game center. And since you have bought the tickets, I believe that even if you book the tickets on the last minute, it is still possible. So this is going to be the form. Thank you.
はい、他に下山さん。読売新聞の下山です。ご説明ありがとうございました。
So I'm from Yomiuri News.
だけになると思うんですが、ここは本来ならその学校連携観戦のエリアでの観戦なんだけども、他にお客さんが誰もいないので、例えばその席集他のですね、
We have some of the school-designed ticket section, that is to say, audience section, that is to say, these seats are designed specifically for the school kids. And since we have cancelled all the different seats and attendees of the audience, and it is going to be a vacancy at the audience seat, and it is not going to be, we are not going to see the spread of the virus. we are sorry for that. We have not came up with a certain scenario-based simulations. And I believe for all the students and all the school organized school organized group, we should put the safety and security first.
はい、他にいかがでしょうか。部屋の中、よろしければ
Are there any other questions
思います。
from the
じゃあ部屋の中
room?
で
Since we have no question from the room,
えーと
we are going to answer some of the question online.
の質問北海道新聞
The
の
first
川村さん
question
北海道の有観客対応について
is
北海道から具体的にどんな要請がありまし
the
たか
question about the COVID-19 perfection and control measures in the Hokkaido prefecture.
この辺は先ほどすでに回答済みですね。
I believe that we have answered the question.
組織として具体的にどういう経過から有観客を判断したのでしょうか。特に
So based on what the organizing committee came up with such a conclusion?
これちょっとすいません。
Sorry, I think yesterday we have came up with some of the measures.
まあ考え方に関して
And we should think about different ways
公表させていただいている内容です。
and publish the relevant content.
に関してまでなかなかお伝えしていないので回答に関してはちょっと差し控えさせていただきます。次のご質問
The next question
先ほどもすでに出ている質問と同様です
is some question that we draw
ご質問ですので
on the athletes.
割愛させていただきます。
So how do we prevent the spread of the COVID-19 among the athletes? We have a handbook for the athletes.
リファンドに関するご質問なんですが
And there are some of the questions for the refund of the tickets.
ちょっと日付のウィンドウか何かをご説明して
So can you give us the exact window time period for the refund of the tickets?
払い戻しですね。
はい。払い戻しをご希望される方につきましてはですね、
For those who are looking forward for the refund of the tickets,
公式販売サイトの方でですね、先ほど
So
ご説明しましたマイチケットのペー
please
ジの方を
log in to the official
いただきますと
procure for official website where you buy the ticket, and then you are going to follow the guideline and submit the applications of the refund of the tickets. And later on, you are going to get a refund.
ご案内申し上げておりますので、そちらの方をご確認いただければと思います。で、繰り返しになりますけれども、今回
And
の
since
無観
it
客
is going to be a
それから
very
再抽選でですね、残念ながら
complicated procedures, and
行っているチケッ
since
ト
we
に
have
関しては
we have
希望者への払い戻しの
returned
手続き
refund
が
required to
ございますので
refund the tickets, and then we cancel it, and then we
はい、ありがとうございます。
open it. It create a lot of troubles for the ticket buyers. We are really sorry for
ど
that.
れぐらいですかっていうご質問なんですけれども。
リファンドに伴う手数料は
At the same
ご
time,
ざいません。そこについては
there is no
手数料は
charging
ございませんので
phrase for the refund
よろしくお願い
procedure.
いたします。
Thank you very much.
はい、ありがとうございます。もし組織委員会にかかるコストっていう意味であっても、そこまでちょっと詳細な、
And for the organizing
コ
committee,
ストに関してはお伝えしていないのでご了解いただきたいと思います。それから
and
次の方
we have some of the cost-related fees.
の方ですね。
This is some
すでに
question from
回答済みと思いますが
ABC.
北海道の地域に関して、50%1万人と。
And I think in the prefectures of Hokkaido and in the city of Sapporo, it is going to be around the total audience cap is going to be 10,000 or 50% of the total audience number.
はい、ナイトセッションのみの扱い。
I think it is only limited to the soccer-related events.
それから同じ方からマラソンと競歩
And the same journalist brought up with some of the questions, including the marathon
マラソン
games.
と競歩に関してはそもそもチケット販売するイベントにはなっておりませんでした。
So our answer is that for the marathon-related events, we did not sell a ticket yet. It is originally a ticket-free event.
に関しては自粛をお願いすることになります。よろしくお願いいたします。
Thank you very much for
それ
the
から AFP
questions.
AFP からの質問です
So
が、
this is a question from
観
AFB.
客に、結局その全体で何枚のチケットが、観客に対して、提供されるかというご質問ですね。これもまあ
So this question is finally, how many tickets did you provide it to the audience? I think that we are going to come up with the answer of that question on the 18th of July.
共同通信キクラさんです。
And so this is a question from the Kikula, Mr. Kikula of Kyoto Telecommunications.
これもあれですかね、個別
そうですね、すいません、個別のチケットの申し込み枚数等については、
And for the country-based
お客
tickets,
様の情報ということになりますので、
it is going to be
ご公表
based
さ
on
せて
the
いただきたいと思います。
scenarios for the different
はい、それで最後のご質問、
あ
北海道の9時
events.
以降というのはどのような基準に基づいているのでしょ
So
うか。
in the prefecture of Hokkaido,
えー
after 9
これは
p.m., what kind of a
緊急あごめんなさい
requirement should we follow?
まん延防止等重点措置後の経過措置に、関わるその北海道における、イベントの取り扱いとして
There is going to be some other events related to Hokkaido.
その説明で合ってますかね。
Can you give us more
もしくは
explanations in terms of the COVID-19 prevention, control and prevention and control measures in Hokkaido? And we have discussed with the governor of Hokkaido in terms of what kind of measures that we are going to
はい、
came up with the COVID-19 prevention and control, and later on we are going to publish that. Thank you very much. I think that we have also answered all the questions, and we are going to conclude the presser today. Thank you very much for your participation. Thank you very much.